Rock on the Range 2014, Matt Pinfield, FanFest.tv. Hanging out with Mike Muir of Suicidal Tendencies. Man, I'm so psyched to see you, brother. How are you, man?
I'm good, I'm good. Good to be here, happy to be here, and excited about everything.
The rest of us are all happy you're here, man. We want you to
Not
know.
Everybody. There's some people that aren't, but that makes it exciting.
Fuck them anyway,
If you can't, some people can't hate you, then you didn't do something right.
well, you know, it's true. It's true. You gotta have haters.
Yeah.
You gotta have haters, you gotta have lovers. It's all.
Yeah.
Mike, we met years ago, man. I remember we were hanging out at City Gardens in Trenton, wasn't that
Trenton, New Jersey.
And it was unbelievable. You know, when I first got, when I got the first record, man, and I heard, I Will Fall in Love Today, and Institutionalized, and I saw your mommy and all those. I bought that record, man, and I was like, it's such a great thing. When you look back at yourself as that kid making that record, what do you think about?
It's interesting because there's a lot of ways people put things, and a lot of times people talk about the good old days, and it depends how many people you're there, because a lot of people go, they were a miserable fuck back then, and they're a miserable fuck now. And I think what Dad always says, people live in the past, have no future. But I think there's a point. I think there's a point where a lot of times in life, people define things in such ways that it really limits them. And change is something that's necessary. And I think there's a difference between progress and just motion and stuff. And for us, I think one of the things is certain bands, you hear the records and they kind of keep mimicking the same thing, and that's all they know how to do.
They feel like they have to.
And that's their comfort zone. Yeah. And we've always said, I think a record should be like a chapter in a book. It should always go somewhere. Yeah. Sometimes you read a book, it's like cool, and somewhere else you're like, whoa, this is different. At the end of it comes all together, then it's like, whoa, this is great. And I think in a situation like this, we're playing a festival and we're playing songs. Well, this song's 30 years old. This one's a year old. But nobody sits there and goes, wow, that's so old, this and that. And I think that's when you do something for the right reason. When you don't try to fit into trends and things like that, then you're going to have longevity.
Which is fantastic, And even Infectious Groove stuff, which was so great too, like all the different things you've worked on over the years.
Well, that was a lot of fun, and we just recently did the Whiskey had the 50th anniversary, and they asked us, they asked us to do the last night, and so we did that, and it was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of people that were really excited about seeing it. And it's great, because Robert, me and Robert started, in Metallica, Corey's and Metallica started together, and we got Jim Martin from Faith No More playing guitar, and and Stephen Perkins and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
All friends. I mean, it's so cool.
Yeah, and it's great too, because you sit there and it's like just a lot of fun because we got to do this again, and then it's like everyone's schedules and I'll be here and that.
It's a great time. You're like, we'll do it again in maybe in 10 years.
It's difficult because of schedules and everybody has different things going on and touring.
Are you living in Orange County still? Where are you now?
No, I was actually 6 of the last 10 years in Australia.
Oh, really?
My wife's Australian, and very important that our kids were born in Australia. So
how many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids, 3 boys.
Yeah,
3 boys. Yeah.
Mine are all girls, so it's like, what are you?
Yeah. It's funny because it's always 3s. It's either boys or girls.
Yeah, no, it's true, man.
And I got the boys. So
Cool,
yeah.
So I was living in Australia, and how many people down there know? Do you meet a lot of people?
It's interesting where my son, the oldest son, was going to school. There's Robert Bartholomew, a famous surfer. His kids went there. There's a couple pro surfers there, and so it's a different environment. It's very kickback kind of thing, and everybody's like, hey mate, how you going, mate? It's all good. See the Suicidals. Yeah, I like the Suicidals. So it's good.
Up on the West Coast too. It's funny. I brought my girlfriend to Newport Beach and Marine Del Rey, and I was just like, it's different than the East Coast where I grew up. So
and like Australia, when we went the first time we went there was '93, and I got there and I go, wow, this is the first place I could actually live, and it's very where we were at, there's 250,000 people in the area in Southern California, where there's 40 million. So, you go on the beaches, no one's there. That's like utopia. Right? So.
Do you surf anymore?
I used to surf, and the last time I surfed was in Australia, and it's a kind of a put down, but I had my leg ripped open one time and twice, and so I kind of stopped skating and surfing. It wasn't skateboarding, but it was a different thing, and so I had to learn how to walk again. And but I try to go out surfing every year, and I was in Australia actually with we were doing the Warped Tour, and she's my wife now, but was there, and so it's like we were at Flea has a house on the beach there, and these guys had the surfboards. Let's go surfing, and I get out there and I'm going out trying to look cool, you know, impress everybody, doing this thing, and I turned to the one guy, I said, "Are the waves different here?" And he goes, "Nah, mate, you just can't surf." And I was like, and that was the last time I went out. There's times where you got to go, you know what? It's not the waves, it's not the rips, it's no, I can't. Yeah.
And my only surfing lesson was from the Malloys.
Oh yeah.
They gave me a surfing lesson, but I knew the Paskowitz still. I knew all those dudes, you know, and I mean, I did it right the first time, and and then it got winter in Jersey. In Jersey. The wetsuit won't even keep you warm. You know?
No, and it's like, you know, my brother. I have to mention, my brother was just elected into the Skateboard Hall of Fame on Thursday.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so big crowd.
What are skateboarders you grew up friends with? Who do you know?
Well, my brother's 5 years older than me, so when that whole Dogtown, the whole Z-Boys thing was coming on, it's a great experience, and I always tell the story with people, you know, when they did things, people didn't have cameras, you know what I mean? Even a little Polaroid, you had to have money to be rich to have that. So people,
tricks, man, they were doing like,
people did things not for post or this or that. There was no Facebook. They did it because it was something they felt
inside.
They
needed that adrenaline rush, and it was emotional, and some things they were doing.
And so to see them, like, you know, draining the skateboard, pools the first time, you know, and doing things like that never been done, it's a great experience. And, you know, so I was the one that unfortunately was the little kid that, you know, it's like, oh, that's Red Dog's little brother. And I always felt like the eyes were on me. And it's kind of like, oh, wow, I'm not that good.
You know, you start agreeing. It's like I say to guys from Canada, you either do hockey or you start a band. You know what I mean? So, but
I gotta give it to my Kings. They just won. They're going into the next round. Yes, very much so.
You know, I love going to see them at the Staples Center because not only is it exciting, but they play good music, which they don't do. I mean, I'm right next to. I'm not trying to diss my home. Rangers Devils, it's my like there. But it's like I want to hear good music when I go to the hockey game. I'm a huge hockey fan, you know what I mean?
We did. We had a video, Send Me Your Money, and we had Brian Leach from the Rangers, and James Patrick was in it and stuff, and that was a big thing. And
hockey's your favorite sport, right, Doris?
It's my favorite sport. I don't have any background in it, no family or whatever. I just went to the game and loved it, and you know, we used to go to the Kings games, the $4.50 student tickets, and end up at the ice. I had a friend that worked there when I was like 13. We'd go there 2 hours before the game when they're practicing, grab the pucks, and then later on, I got a puck, you know, and sell them, you know, and sell them to people, you know.
So cool.
It was a great experience.
Yeah, man, I love it. It's like I still love going to hockey games anytime, all the time. Because it's exciting. It's an exciting sport. It's great.
We used to always bring people that never been to a game, and I think people have, it's another thing they have a misconception with. And then you get there and you're just like, whoa, the excitement. It's a lot more than just the fighting.
Adrenaline, passion.
The physicality, and you know, skating 35 miles an hour, hitting a puck 100 miles an hour, and moving on a fine line.
I can't do what those guys do. I admire and watch.
No, it's one of those ones definitely appreciate.
So good.
Yeah.
Mike, it's so good to see you, man.
It's a pleasure seeing you again, man.
Brother, you know, you just love you and have for many a year, and it's
cool, man.
Happy to have you on here.
Thank you, man.
Is there anything before we go, like, is coming up for Suicidal, or you, Mike, that you want to let people know about?
Basically, we're just doing a bunch of more festivals and stuff this summer.
Having fun, playing some records.
You know, doing a festival in Korea this year, headlining a festival. Never been there before. Last year we had headlined a festival in Jakarta. You know, haven't done that, and that's a great experience to go to places and experience the culture and be able to play in front of a lot of people and see multi-generations of people that are into the band.
I love the records, too. I've known you for a long time.
Whether it's, you know, skating, whatever it is they're into and stuff, it's cool. It's a great experience. And it's a great thing to be a part of.
So
we're definitely happy. Cool, man.
Appreciate it. Mike Muir, Suicidal Tendencies on fanbase.tv. Rock on the Range 2014. Mike, thanks.